both into their
be careful now
later stage of life, and they're I'm sure also going to be discussing their shared love of poetry, the President himself, as in the Irish President being a poet. And we remember how often Joe Biden quoted the poetry of Seamus Heaney while he was running for election in the United States. They also both are very fond of their pets. They both have dogs that they talk a lot about. So
there was some discussion whether he might meet the presidential dogs or not. We shall see. But mentioning the love of poetry and Seamus Heaney, Dr. Rice, we read that Joe Biden actually used frequent repetition of Seamus Heaney's works to help him overcome his stutter.
Yes, indeed. It's not just something that's a symbolic move by President Biden whenever he issues quotes within his various speeches from different pieces of poetry. It's clearly something that has a very personal attachment to him, not just for the Irish ancestry and the heritage there, but on a much deeper level in terms of helping him with that. So yeah, it's hugely symbolic for him, and it's something as well that whenever he does issue words from that particular poet, it has to be said that, you know, there's a very much a deeper significance there for him personally whenever he is using those words. So yes, I have to agree. I wouldn't be surprised if poetry is on the agenda today, albeit probably not officially.
And David, the President has remarked how his very essence is Irish, that his Irish identity is so important to him, and he's so proud of his Irish roots.
Yes, this visit is heavy in terms of both political and personal significance for the President. He had the political aspect yesterday when he was in Northern Ireland, of course, doing his best to gently persuade the political leaders there to restore the power-sharing government, something I think that will be on the agenda after this engagement when he meets with the Irish Prime Minister on Taoiseach Leo Varadkar. He also will be back into the realm of politics when he addresses a joint session of the upper and lower houses of the Irish Parliament this afternoon. And for now, I think this is something that is a little more relaxed for him, even though it is a formal greeting by Ireland's head of state to the US head of state. As we've been discussing, the two men have so much in common. I think they will have a fairly relaxed conversation. We know that the Taoiseach, that's the Deputy Irish Prime Minister, also Foreign Affairs Minister Micheál Martin, is here at this engagement to meet with the President. And there we see some of President Biden's own family arriving.
Yes, you mentioned Micheál Martin yesterday when he introduced President Biden. He did say, "Welcome home," which President Biden said it does feel like home, and he'd wonder how anyone would ever want to leave the place.
Micheál Martin finds himself in a rather unusual position these days, of course, because he was for 2 years the Taoiseach himself, the Irish Prime Minister under the coalition government arrangement that currently exists in the Republic of Ireland. You will remember that Leo Varadkar was Taoiseach, and then he became deputy for 2 years, and now they've swapped back, if you like, Leo Varadkar returning to the top office because the two largest parties, Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil, along with the Greens, form that coalition government here in Dublin.
Well, let's bring in a guest now down the line. We're joined by the former Deputy Irish Leader and Fine Gael MEP, Francis Fitzgerald. Welcome to you. First of all, I wonder if you can tell us what this visit by Joe Biden means to you.
I remember him being here as Vice President in 2016, and he got a huge response then. And to come again as President, it's hugely symbolic for all of us, very important, and reinforces those very strong ties that Ireland has with America. I mean, they are historic, particularly, of course, during the famine, when so many people emigrated to America in terrible conditions. They're economic, they're cultural, they're social. And I think it's about reinforcing all of those ties. And of course, having the President of the United States of America is very important politically. And of course, his messages have been very nuanced, actually, in the North, but at the same time clear. everybody has been able to respond very well to them, and they've gone down very well. They've been received very well, right across the political spectrum, actually, which is hugely important.
And the timing so crucial as it is the 25th anniversary of the Good Friday Agreement as well.
That's right, the 25th anniversary. Fantastic that we had an end to the killings, the injuries, the bombings, the explosions, thousands of families impacted by that, a peace that really people weren't sure would come. And what we're focusing now on is all of the unfinished business of peace and democracy. We have more work to do. The peace is, it's ongoing, it's unfinished, and of course very tied to economic stability and opportunity for the North as well. If we can have greater political stability there and the institutions up and running, then of course you're going to have more investment in the North, which really is badly needed at present. There has been progress, but really what President Biden was doing in his address yesterday was saying there is so much more that can be done, so much more investment. And he was speaking about making sure the current young generation and future generations benefit from the peace, from the Good Friday Agreement. So it's the benefits of peace. They don't happen all at once. It's ongoing. And that's what he was focusing on. And those were the messages, that if we can get greater political stability, it's really good for, indeed, the north of Ireland and the whole island of Ireland.
Yes, and yesterday he spoke about potential economic investment and dangled the carrot of billions of dollars of investment should power sharing return and be restored at Stormont.
Yes, it makes sense. You're going to get greater economic investment. It's a good place to invest. And of course, if you have greater political stability, business is going to feel more secure about coming here. They're going to want to, there's going to be more foreign direct investment. And the situation will offer greater hope to the people if that happens. And there is potential there. But, you would be a bit wary until the political institutions come back. If you were a business man or woman,
sorry to interrupt you. We're just seeing pictures now of President Biden, I believe, signing the visitors' book. I think that would